All right, you call me up, man, and you talk about Nubby. I don't know what happened while I was gone, but people were having a good time talking Nubby, watching Nubby, playing Nubby. There's an update today. Please stop making fun of the fact that I still have Christmas decorations behind me. I went shopping yesterday to try to find like new decorations. But I'll tell you what I bought. I bought some artisan chocolates. Basically, I went to a store that collates goods from local artists and potters and confectioners and stuff like that. I left with 2 coasters, a few stickers for my daughter, and like some Canadian chocolate. Like that's it. I thought about buying like some cool wooden bowls, but then I was like, what am I gonna do with bowls? Like, cause then I just gotta get some more shit to put in them. And I don't know what I would put in them. So like I didn't really know what was going on. Makers don't make useful stuff. Well, yeah, but like, what do I expect? Like, I'm gonna walk into the store and there's gonna be like a fucking artisan refrigerator in there. It'll be like, oh shit, it's a locally handcrafted small batch automobile. Like, what can they do? They can only do so much. That's why I ended up usually buying food when I go to them. Because I'm not gonna get like a heat pump or something that was made by some hippie in Kitsilano, but I'll get like, I don't know, like a reclaimed wood bowl or like some embroidery or something like that now and then. Just something to make the house nicer. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here. It's been a while. Let's just do some Tony gaming, because I gotta remind myself what the hell I'm doing. You just bounce on it? I guess that's a good point. You just bounce on it. We take those. When's the cutoff for Christmas decorations? I say maybe like the first week of May. First week of May sounds about right now. Well, the problem, I don't know what to put behind me, man. Like, I could put some evergreen shit behind me, but it's kind of like getting a tattoo. Like, when it comes to talking about decorations to have like in my office at all times, like I don't know what I would put up there. Like, I could put up like pictures of my kids, but I don't really want you guys to see that. Wreath? Yeah, you could have a wreath year round as long as it doesn't have like whatever those blue or red berries are called. Happy Seal. When the first peg is popped, 2 random pegs get smacked. What the heck is smacked, man? Is smacked a new keyword? Keep reading. When a peg is smacked, it counts as a peg tab trigger without actually having it. Yeah, but what does smacked mean? It explains itself? So smacking is what happens when you're smacked. Okay, thanks for your help. I appreciate that. We'll get that going on. We don't have any having going on, but that's okay. We're smacking the pegs. It has a nice sound effect associated with it. Having builds were already really good. Listen, I've been out of the game for a little bit, okay? I don't know what's going on with Nubby. I know people are getting Googleplex and stuff like that. It's difficult for me to talk about stuff like that because my daughter just discovered Googleplex, which I think is like, ooh, force triggers all first peg popped. My daughter just discovered Googleplex, which I think is crazy because like, I don't think I discovered Googleplex until maybe like the 3rd or the 4th grade, but like that's how fast information transit is these days. But like she keeps, you do like the I love you more game, right? So I'll hit her at the end with the alt. I'll say like I love you infinity, and then she says I love you Googleplex. And I have to explain to her that she lost, and then she loves me less. Because Googleplex is lower than infinity because it's finite. And then she says I love you infinity plus Googleplex. And then I got to explain that that's still just infinity. It doesn't get any bigger. That she's like not having it, man. She doesn't respect getting mogged when it comes to mathematics. You ever think about before the internet, how fucking, so let me explain something to you, okay? At dinner one night when we were on vacation, Kate made one of those like fortune teller things with a piece of paper, you know, where you take a rectangular piece of paper, fold it into a triangle, and then take the rectangle off so it becomes a square, and then you fold it up into one of those things that goes like tick, 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 tick. You call them cootie catchers. Okay, we call them fortune tellers. You ever think about how we all know how to make those and what those are? Because like when you're a kid and somebody explains how to make it, you're like, okay, this must be some shit that like just exists in my school or whatever. Then you find out that like almost every person who went to a school in North America knows how to make the cootie catcher. And then you think maybe this shit isn't even like a 90s invention, man. Maybe people have been making cootie catchers since fucking when? Since like the existence of papyrus or some shit like that. Like maybe King Tutankhamun was making cookie catchers back in like ancient Thebes or something. Like that's crazy to me. Like pre-proliferation of the internet, how the fuck did we all find out about the rumor that Marilyn Manson had a rib removed so he could suck his own cock? Was it like Marco Polo? Like kids would change schools and they would bring that rumor from like a pollinating bee from one school to another, and then like, or like travel sports teams or something like that when they would all like go to a tournament and talk to people from other school districts. So like that shit's fucking crazy, man. That's crazy. And like it didn't take that long to spread because Marilyn Manson only got famous in like 1997 or something like that. And we were talking about how he had a rib removed at my rural Ontario middle school in like the year 2000 or some shit like that. Like that word traveled fast. I mean, it's a remarkable story, this Marilyn Manson stuff, but still, like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Is it real, by the way? The rib thing? The cootie catcher, I know, is real. When a peg is halved, all pegs will equal to double the number of the lowest number peg. That's a given, man. I think. I don't know. Just tell me what to do. My brain's not all back yet. That's true, dude. What if you were like, I actually fucking... I had an extra rib added because I was too good at sucking my own dick. So I couldn't get anything done. I was like, Doc, you gotta help me. I'm just sucking and sucking all day long. That is fucking funny. It's the type of shit that you miss when you're away for 2 weeks, because there's no motherfucker out there in meat space talking about stuff like this. They're always just like, how's it going? You know, like, what can I get you tonight? Nobody's talking about this kind of shit. Yeah, then the doctor's like, well, who do you think donated the rib? And the doctor was the boy's mother or whatever. Why do you say meat space? To differentiate it from the real world of online interactions, man. By the way, while I was gone, don't think about it too hard. I did a brain teaser trivia session, and brain teasers are pissing me off, okay? I never really realized it, but I feel like the answer to all brain teasers is so arbitrary. Like one of the questions was like, a man jumped 150 feet by himself and landed safely. How did he do it? And I said, boom, easy. Wrote it down on the sheet. He was on a trampoline. He jumped 5 feet 30 times, 150 feet, no problem. He could have been LeBron, that's true. Turn in my paper. I see they got marked with an X. Okay, let's see what the fucking correct answer is. He was a ski jumper. Says fucking who, bitch? That doesn't make any sense to how, maybe he was on a trampoline, maybe he was ski jumping, maybe he had really cushioned shoes or something like that. There's like a million possible answers for how a dude could jump 150 feet and then land safely. Like it doesn't make sense to me that my answer's wrong, but your answer's right. Wrong dumb answer was Spider-Man? It could have been Spider-Man. He could have landed in like a ball pit or something like that that was sufficiently deep. Like, shit was pissing me off, man. But then some of them, they were like, I have rivers but no water, mountains but no rocks. And I was like, that's a map, bitch. Nice try. But some of them were pissing me off a little bit. Anyway, what am I doing here? I'm trying to get the pregnancy test, right? Fuck you. I saw your message, by the way, Ricky. That's the thing, man. Is like, we think we're so... Fuck you. We think we're so different than people like 150 years ago. There might have been a rumor in, I don't know, Grover Cleveland-ass era in school, where they were like, oh, did you know Rutherford B. Hayes had one of his ribs removed so he could suck on his own Todger, whatever the hell they called it back then? They were probably saying shit like that. They might have even been saying worse for all I know. I don't know what it was like back in 1890. I blew my daughter away though. She's pretty cool. She was watching a YouTube Kids video that just listed American presidents. And like, I'm pretty good like 1 through 8 thanks to Hamilton and Seinfeld. And then like, I don't know, 8 through like 35, it gets a little messy. I know that there's like a bunch of them that are really bad, up to like James Buchanan. Then you get Abraham Lincoln. Then it's like a little bit messy again after that. But then I usually pick it back up around like Teddy Roosevelt. But I blew her mind getting everybody from like Woodrow Wilson straight through to fucking, this only went up to 2018, unfortunately, so I'll just spare you, but she was freaking out. I was like, boom, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Boom, fucking Harry Truman, Dwight Eisenhower, bitch. John F. Kennedy, Lyndon B. Johnson, Richard Nixon, Gerald Ford, Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan, George H.W. Bush, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, Barack Obama, Donald Trump, bitch. I didn't call my daughter a bitch, but I was kind of like, I was posterizing her, because she didn't know like any of them. She does know Obama though. And this is, I shouldn't admit this because it reflects badly on her, but we have a book about American history, and like one of the questions was about presidents on Mount Rushmore, and it's multiple choice. And the possible answers are like Taft, Jefferson, or Obama. And every time I say Obama, she laughs, and I have to tell her that's not okay. Yeah, I'll use my key, of course. I also have to explain to her that Taft is a fucking funny name, but she doesn't get that as much. When the first peg is popped, emits one E-core stream for every 10 times Nubby has died in this game. When a peg is hit by E-core, pass, round, goal, items, and perks will trigger. When the first peg's popped, 2 random pegs will copy the number of the first peg popped. I love that. I love that. We're going toy fish. You ever hear about that lady who won the Toyota? Is this real? Ouch. What are you talking about? I thought there was like a restaurant where it was like the #1 server is gonna win a Toyota. So then all the servers were pogging up. They're like, holy shit, a free car. I didn't want to say it was Hooters until someone in chat vouched for it. That's the last thing I need is the clip that implies that all women work at Hooters, okay? Okay, it was Hooters, all right. But then when she won, they gave her like a toy of Yoda, the fucking guy, you know, the green guy. And then she took him to court or whatever, right? And then she won which is crazy, because like, after she beat him in court, I hope she got like a BMW or something. Nothing against the Toyota, but like, she went through the fucking legal system. They could upgrade her from like a Corolla. She won the lawsuit. You know what I was thinking? You think it's a good sign for like the health of modern society. Kate was telling me a story, and I don't know the source, okay? Except that the secondhand source is my wife. And this is fucked up. But apparently, like, a guy went through a Starbucks drive-thru. It's a very similar story to that McDonald's story. And they served him a cup of coffee through the window, but they spilled the coffee on his lap, and it like fused. It basically like melted his shit up. And they suing them for like $100 million or something like that. It was a grandma. Kate told me it was a guy, which is the only reason that I felt comfortable saying goals when she told me the story. You think it's a good sign? Do you think it's a good sign for a society that the first thing you think of when you hear that is like jealousy? Not jealousy, but like, you know, like a week later he was probably like, damn, 50 mil. Kind of sick, right? Probably not. I don't know, man. Because I would say, as soon as I heard this story, I was thinking we should have like a startup. And what we would do, it would just be like me and a bunch of my boys. And we'll just go through the drive-thru, like order one extra hot, venti Pike Place coffee, order it, go through the drive-thru, and like fucking try to throw them off their game. And then eventually, even if it takes you like 3 or 4 years or something like that, eventually something's gonna go wrong, right? It's gonna be like a windy day or something like that. They're gonna spill it on you, and then you just split the proceeds of the lawsuit, like amongst all the dudes who were doing the scam or the business, the legitimate business. Sorry. First peg pop. Force triggers the item in slot 7 one time for every 10 food items you've consumed. That's a given. Because, okay, so what's the plan? We always want to pop the highest value peg, which will cause other pegs to copy it. And then we want to unlock enough slots so that the toy fish goes to slot number 7. It's that simple, people. That's true. I'd probably get outcompeted by private equity. There'd be like one fucking person would be like, a million cups of extra hot coffee, please. In the gale force winds. Fuck! I can't compete with this shit, man. Take me like 100 years to match their output. Is fucked, man. Maybe I should vote for Sean or... You get 2 votes? Are there 2 open seats, or do you just get 2 votes? Because I remember the last time I voted in the municipal election, they start asking you to do like, can you rank these like 28 park board trustee candidates in order of your preference? And I was like, oh, I don't know, man. That's tough. I'm feeling lucky. Oh, that was bad. Those are important. I availed myself the information for mayor and city council, okay? I was a good little soldier. I voted one city down the whole ticket. They got blown the fuck out, man. And then Christine Boyle pivoted to like provincial politics, right? And she got a seat, and that's great for her. I'm glad she's in the provincial legislature, but at the same time, now there's like, what happened to one city? I don't know. I just normally pick the people with one city next to their name. I don't want to hit any of these. Fuck you. You do any gambling? On vacation? Might have played bingo once, that's about it. Hey, right there? Right there. You know what business AI actually is gonna wipe out? Like, if you're a graphic designer for a slot machine, I'm not relishing in this, but you're fucked. Start polishing that resume. Because I did walk through a casino when I was on vacation, and the AI art aesthetic is alive and well when it comes to slot machines, man. Like, I am a guy that works for a slot company. It's genuinely happening. I mean, honestly, I don't know how they made that art without AI. Just be like a bunch of like really shiny like Japanese samurais and shit on the slot machine. Like the fucking Brandon Lee, the Crow slot machine and shit. Like I don't know what's going on in the slot machine industry. All I know is when Twitch, prior to Twitch having banned gambling, every once in a while I would tune into a gambling stream as kind of like, you know, like when you watch an episode of Intervention and you're like sympathetic, but you're also like better you than me. It would be crazy to see like grown adults being like, oh, the fucking Gold Rush slot machine is being a bitch today. I'm gonna move over to like farm life. And then they're like, come on, give me like 8 bushels of fucking carrots, 8 bushels of carrots, come on. And I'm like, damn, dude, you have like 4 kids. Talking about 8 bushels of carrots. Okay, it's gotta be like this. Like, maybe it's not fair, but I thought, like, can they make, like, a good slot machine, or is that impossible? Whatever happened to bar, man? Cherry, bell, bar? Oh, can't be re-triggered. You're right. Well, I don't need it to be re-triggered, man. I want it to pop 4 pegs instead of 2, for now. But I take your point. Hitting up those WA casinos. I've been to the Silver Reef Casino to have dinner at the buffet with my in-laws and my, well, basically just my wife's family. The Silver Thief. You not know about AP Plays? I don't know what AP Plays is. It sounds like a Let's Play channel by like a former NFL running back with a great degree of controversy surrounding them. I don't know what it is. No need to end, man. This is the best run I've ever had. Stop saying these things out loud. I bet you're taking advantage of my naivete because I've been on vacation, man. We don't summon anything. I mean, the void is like not that used. I'm gonna skip it, man. I'm gonna go skip build. No one asked me for $5 while I was away. I did, I got recognized twice, I think. But nobody asked me for $5. Which means that they could have at least said double it and give it to the next guy. I guess they're selfish. 2-headed turtle? Lowest 10 pegs pop. The lowest number peg gives points equal to 10x its number. If the lowest peg is 64 or less, it'll give plus 1,000 instead. Every 10 pegs popped. You're giving away $5? Yes, it's called... What's it called, Chad? I think I said direct relief last time and people got mad at me. It's not bribery. Yeah, it's a bit. It's not effective altruism. If it was effective altruism, I would take your $5 because I would do more with it. Like my idol, Sam Bankman-Fried. We take those. I consider it a chatter reimbursement program. Because I probably said some shit that like pissed you off, but you have not at present found me in public and murdered me. So as a result, it's a dividend, man. It's a dividend to one person to say thank you to the community for not killing me in public. Because I like being alive, like right now. There's some parts of it that have been better, but in general, I enjoy the process of living. So it's just my way of saying thanks for not killing me. Not a cheese house sort of guy. really know what I'm doing. I think we wanna get our food popping. I guess we wanna fill the board first. Let's freeze this. I broke my work computer today. Let me guess, it's a MacBook and you work at a startup. Because if you worked at a real company, no disrespect, and they gave you a real computer like a Lenovo ThinkPad, that shit's not breaking. It'll outlast everybody in this chat. Streaming is actually so easy, I forgot. Almost everything else is hard. So I actually, this is not a brag, it's actually just fucked up. Like, sometimes I think about, like, why do I have a tendency to sometimes get depressed when I'm on vacation? And I realize that I think it's because, like, being on vacation is harder than streaming, which is a fucked up, like, dilemma to have. But I think it's true, man. Like, doing whatever you want is, like, harder than just playing a game and saying whatever pops into your head. It is true, like, I can't talk about, like, being annoyed at flying anymore unless the person I'm talking to has a kid. Because every time I talk about it, people are like, oh, so you hate your kid? No, I don't hate my kid, man. But it used to be like, oh, 6-hour flight, pop in the earbuds, watch a couple movies, like play Slay the Spire. And now I gotta put on, like, a funny voice and pretend to be Bluey's dad for, like, 5.5 hours. And then she falls asleep at the worst time, like with 30 minutes left in the flight. So like as soon as she falls asleep, the flight attendants come around and are like, there's a crumb on the floor, you need to sweep that up just in case we have an emergency landing. And then she wakes up and she's like, ah! Every time, hey, pick up that can. Don't talk to me. Stop flying so much with a young kid? Bro, it's literally the safest way to travel. Despite all the horrific news. Not anymore? Well, I don't know, brother. I mean, I'm not trying to be just the contrarian guy. But like, I think if they started talking about like every car crash on the news, people would real quick start to be like, I'm not driving in my car tomorrow. What are you saying? I'm saying there should be a 24-hour news network that's just videos of car crashes. I thought I laid it out like pretty simply. The Warlock perk. I need that. Listen, someone typed, car crashes don't happen if you drive well. And we all know that that's false. But I think all of us who drive also believe that. Don't you think? Like in my head, I'm like, that's obviously not true. A bad driver could crash into you. I don't make mistakes, but a bad driver could crash into us. But like my animal brain is like, I know a lot of people like getting car crashes, but I'm just like probably better at driving than them. Even though the front part of my brain is like, that's not the way it works. The back part of my brain is like, that wouldn't happen to me. Anyone else do the thing where like when you get on a plane, you do like an assessment of who's on the airplane to see if like a benevolent God would allow this plane to crash and kill everybody on it? Like when I get on a plane and there's like a lot of families with young kids, I'm like, benevolent God would not let this plane crash. We're good. I can take a nap. But if I get on a plane and it's like all or mostly like middle-aged business travelers, I'm like, buckle up. This shit would be like probably like 9th top story on the news today. No one would give a fuck at all. I do that. Any kind of cope that you could get if you're scared in these situations. I'm gonna take the Warlock perk, even though we have no Nubby dies perks. I don't know what I'm doing in this game, but we are alive on round 41. You gonna start posting anywhere? I don't think so, man. I think I'm done posting. I'm impressed that like people came back to the stream. Like I didn't make a tweet or anything that was like, I'm back, good to be back. Thanks for like sticking around while I was away. People just kind of knew. I guess it's like it's the luxury of usually being live when you say you're gonna be live. You don't have to like Google like Northern Lion hours of opening or whatever. It's like well, maybe not most of the time, but like much of the time he's there when he says he'll be there. Look at that. Toy Story block. And this item is force triggered. It transfers the force trigger to the item to the left of me. Tony, what are we doing here? Force trigger a random Nubby dies. First peg popped, force triggers the item in slot 7 one time for every food item, 10 food items you've consumed. Nubby dies, force triggers all first peg popped items. I don't know what to do with that, man. I don't know what to do with that. I'm gonna go to the cafe and start eating some foods. Chip. One of the best foods to eat. This re-rolls cafe food. That's pretty expensive. If we're gonna be eating a lot of foods, let's get strawberries off the ground here. Gives a kebab. When Nubby dies, 50% chance to force trigger this. I'm all in. I'm all in. Kebab prices went up. Ain't that the truth, brother? Ain't that, I'm assuming? Hold on those. Fish can't be triggered. Yes, but it gets a bonus for being in slot 7 right now, man. They capped strawberry, but it's cheaper now. How crazy is it? I mean this in like a good way. Art, maybe I'm getting too on my own ass with this, but let me say it anyway. This is like I don't want to call it a parody, because I don't think that's fair. But like, I feel like Nubby is like a bit of a self-aware cookie clicker / roguelike type game. A pastiche. That's a great way to describe it. Like it has a deconstruction. Sure, that's a great way to describe it. But it's so good at the game elements of it that in spite of it being a deconstruction, it itself has become a fucking real roguelike with like balance and shit. And this is overpowered, this is underpowered, we need more items that do this. Like it's crazy, it's taken on its own fucking life, man. I don't know what any of the shit that I just said means. It's just interesting to think about. Put the nub in the box. I miss saying, just put the blank in the blank. I didn't get to say that a lot when I was gone, because I was in a lot of circumstances where, like, there were fries. So I think people would have been like, what the fuck, dude? It would have been, like, rude. It wouldn't have been the right environment for that type of discourse. I got loot. Doors trigger all items in odd-numbered slots. When you pass the round goal, if Nubby's alive, 50% chance to trigger this. I'm gonna take waffle. What would I like to force trigger? You can't be, but I'm leaving you there until we get a better setup for number 7. You're okay there. The lowest number peg gives points equal to one fucking. Okay, I'll tell you what. I think it's gonna be that, and that. You need to hit something reasonably big first. Hold. That's not gonna do it, man. This is gonna do it. Lazy straw. Every 10 pegs popped, summon a straw that pops a peg. Pegs popped by straws give an additional 160% of their hash. Gains 5 for every time you've jumbled pegs. What the hell is jumbling? It's goated, it's amazing. Alright, fuckers. You say so. That's when you re-roll the board! I re-roll the board all the time! The jumbler! This is what got chipped to a Google. Look, like, it's a real game, man. We're like trading war stories. That's beautiful, man. Art's a beautiful thing, maybe. You know what's interesting about art is that there's like fiction art and non-fiction art. Because there's art that's just like, wow, this person's like really good at drawing. That's non-fiction. That's like a documentary. And then there's art that's like, whoa, this one really makes you think. That's bad art? Bro, they're amazing at drawing. Like when they draw something, you're like, that's an apple. That's a fucking house. Fuck you. Are you ready to admit AI is goated? AI guy, when you haven't talked about AI in an hour and a half? Have you reconsidered your position on AI lately? No, man, I was on vacation with like my family and shit. I was making small talk with strangers who would ask where I'm from, and I would just say something like, the West Coast. I was out there, man. I hit the ground running. Nah, you're chill. Hold on, that. League son or AI daughter? Oh, man, I don't want to offend anybody. There's a lot of both around. And at the end of the day, I got to remember, they're not demons. They're not soulless individuals. They have a spirit. They have desires. They have wants and dreams. They're real people just trying to make their way through, just like the rest of us. League son? I don't know, man. I think that shit would piss me off. I think if imagine I was like a normal person. I think if I came home from work and there was like an adult, even if it was my son, but there was like an adult in his pajamas who had just been playing League of Legends all day and was pissed about it, I would have a hard time. Yeah, TSPMO for real. At least with AI daughter, I could be like, she's working at a startup in San Francisco, and then I could just like not like think about it much more than that. I could just be like, you know, she's figuring it out. A mysterious door appears. We got the taiyaki. Alien. When Nubby... Okay, this guy's pretty cute. One's stupid, the other one's stupid and a loser. Okay, but then why are so many people picking stupid and loser over just stupid? I guess because, like, yeah, actually, it's more fun to, like, hang out with losers. Well, it depends on what kind of loser they are. Like, I think me and Seymour from Ghost World would hit it off, even though I'm not Thora Birch. I'm not sure he should have done that shit, for one, but I got maybe like 15 minutes left in the movie. I gotta finish it. But I think we could have a good time, me and Seymour. With the wimps and all that. Hey, if you guys go to like a theme park, I got a great line for you. Because of someone it's a little niche, okay? But some of you are gonna be like, this is not gonna happen. Well, it's a very specific situation, okay? You're at the theme park, and then one of your friends goes, should we get a fast pass? Here's some shit you can say to farm some aura, although it did not work on my wife, so your mileage may vary. I said, nah, I'd rather, don't stutter when you say it. Buy a fast pass? Nah, I'd rather wait with the greats than skip with the dips. I said that, I thought it was gonna come out like super cool, and then Kate just went, what? And I went, I'd rather wait with the greats than skip with the dips. She was like, I don't get it. And I was like, it's up to you. And we waited with the greats. We didn't do much skipping with the dips, to be honest. I don't know, I already got one fella like you. But when you bounce 10 times, you emit a Cosmo Blast. When a peg is popped by a Cosmo Blast, it counts as 2 instead of 1, but I don't know. I don't really know about all that. Seems good. I wish this was YouTube so I could skip this part. The part where we say funny things instead of just bouncing the ball. It hurt my feelings, man. Yeah, every 3 seconds, force trigger all items that can be force triggered. I can live with that. I can live with that bigly. It does feel good to be back, though. I was thinking about that. You guys ever, like, be away from home for a while, and then when you come back, you get, like, an insane burst of energy? Like, I was out of the house at like 7:45 a.m. yesterday. I needed to buy a pair of jeans, and then I Googled like the hours of the jeans store, and it said they didn't open till 11. I was saying like some fucked up shit in the car. It's like, what the fuck, 11 o'clock a.m. on a Sunday? On the fucking weekend, you have the audacity to open at 11 a.m.? 8 I could understand, 8 a.m. for jeans, man. What if I need jeans at sunrise? Like, you don't... We went to the grocery store, I took my daughter out for like a scooter ride, changed the sheets, unpacked my suitcase, bought groceries to do meal prep, but then I was kind of tired at the grocery store, so I forgot to get ground beef for my daughter's pasta, so I got to go back to the grocery store after the stream and get some ground beef. You got stores open on Sundays? Yeah, we're keeping it like, we're keeping it real over here, I guess. 8 a.m. is still crazy. I saw someone in chat said, see, it's coming back online. I'm relearning how to ride the bike. One second, I gotta kebab this. Sort my salad. Someone in chat said the world's increasingly becoming for morning people, and that's not good. You're right and wrong. I think there's like an ebb and a flow to it, man. I don't think it's becoming more for morning people. I think that as you get older, there's less reason to stay up late if you don't go to nightclubs and bars. Because like the businesses that are open late, they tend to be the domain of a young individual. It's really like 24-hour Walmarts, nightclubs, bars, maybe like 1 or 2 coffee shops, I guess. Some of us are just night people. I haven't been able to do this for like 2 weeks. Oh, so you think like the whole fucking world, you think 100 people should be forced to work overnight just so you can buy your groceries at 2 a.m.? A little selfish, don't you think? Me personally, I inconvenience myself to make sure that my shopping habits are as convenient as possible for the individuals who happen to work at the locations in which I am frequenting. I work in nightlife? Well, I wasn't fucking talking to you in that case, just so you know. Reads the crazy straw. Now, what shit do I want to force trigger? Maybe I want to force trigger your ass to mean that I think you would go here. Early birds buying up all the shit? Yes, sir. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It's just like, Even when we were on vacation, I was waking up at like, basically like 2 a.m. Vancouver time. And it ruled, man. Because like at a certain point in your life, that's like the only time that where my dad's at is what I'm trying to say. I was talking about it with other dads. You spec in the morning person or night owl after you have a kid. And I'm sure it gets even more specialized like the more kids you got. Basically like sunrise to sunset is typically, it's work on the weekdays or kid stuff on the weekends. So you gotta choose, are you gonna be the dad that like stays up until 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and then like you get your time at the end of the day and you maybe lose a little bit of sleep? Or are you gonna be the dad that wakes up at 5 a.m., 5:30 and take your time in the morning? I prefer to take my time in the morning because I feel like it sets, for my personality, it sets me up better for the rest of the day. I can understand either of them, but the thing is, listen, it's complicated and I think nobody cares about it as much as I do. So it's not really like, I don't want to talk about it that much because I think it's like bad content. I think that there's competing impetuses here. Because I'm the kind of person where like if I have a to-do list, I don't wait till the feeling is right to do the to-do list. As soon as I'm up, showered, dressed, ate breakfast, I want to start knocking out the to-do list. So if I could do it, I would love to have, if I had 5 errands on my to-do list, if I could get that done before lunch, the rest of the day is a dream come true. So I think that works better with a morning person lifestyle. If you're the kind of person who's more like, if you can trust yourself to procrastinate on it, but you know after dinner you're definitely gonna do it without fail, then maybe you could handle that time at the end of the day. But I'm a morning person myself. It took me a lot of experimentation to get there, but that's what college is for. A bit lazy. Come on, you fucker. Where's my 524Ks at? Yes! You a matcha dude? Nah, I'm a coffee man. When you gonna stop having tea with the... Help me with this. You need to stop having tea with the blanks and start having Joe with the pros. Tea with the fleas? I'm gonna use that next time I'm at the coffee shop. No, I won't. Hey, you need to stop having tea with the fleas and start having Joe with the pros. Pretty good. Pretty ass, I'm hearing. People are saying it's the worst thing they've ever heard. It's ass. You should try that one. Let me know how that goes for you. I can't see how it could possibly go wrong. Tea with the dweebs? It's not a close enough rhyme. We're really relying on the purity of the rhyme here to carry a lot of the discourse. And Nubby dies. Force trigger the item in slot 6 1 time for every 7 rounds. I don't know about all that. Maybe we'll trigger a turtle a couple extra times or something instead. Or a flamethrower. Tea with the peewees? It's syllabically offensive. It just doesn't work on a syllabic standpoint. You need to go here. We need to eat more foods. Mimics the effect of the most recently eaten item. Yeah, I can do that. We're on round 70. Turns out I'm kind of goated, man. Oh, what a shot! Anyway, I'm a coffee guy. And I gotta tell you, I know... Listen, I'm just passing on what I would describe as wisdom. You might not describe it as wisdom, you might describe it as mental illness. Trust me, I beta tested it on previous trips. I fucking pushed that shit into production this time. Goated dad meta. Order a coffee before bed, put it in the fridge. When you wake up before your whole family in the morning and go to the toilet, grab that nice cold coffee from the fridge, glug, 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 glug. You get started, it starts your day off with so much more momentum, so much more primed for relaxation. Why would you do that? Sometimes your family is too slow at waking up. So if you need coffee in the morning, and you wake up at 5:30, and you know, your kid might not wake up until fucking 8. That's 2.5 hours of like uncertainty for your caffeine, man. Just prepare a cold brew? Oh yeah, I guess maybe I'll wake up maybe in my hotel room. I'll turn on the fucking, I'll bring my home cold brew system. I'll bring the toddy in my fucking suitcase and make my own cold brew in the hotel room. You fucking idiot. What are you talking about? Absolutely not. That's insane. My coffee machine has a timer? Yeah, you're in a 100 square foot hotel room. I'm not gonna like basically assault my family with the Keurig. Brown smoke pouring out of the back of the thing? No way, man. You get the coffee, usually like in the lobby on the way up to the hotel room. You put the coffee in the fridge. You wake up as soon as you want. Glug, 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 glug. Now you don't have to like, oh, I want to get my coffee, but first I gotta shower. But before I shower, I gotta blue, but I gotta bling, and I gotta... It's just good to go, man. You wouldn't get it, honestly. You wouldn't get it, but one day you will. It might be too late for you by then. You'll have missed out on a lot of opportunities. And that's okay. Just take a caffeine pill. I like the coffee though. I like the coffee. Your dad met us too far? Nah, man. Nah, honestly, I think you're not depending on the kindness of strangers. And that shit's kind of pissing me off. As a Blanchehead. That's real. Okay, chat, I've lost the plot here. You gotta tell me what to do. I gotta eat as many foods as possible to trigger the crazy straw plus. That's a given. I think we're getting around 8. I think you can just let it ride. So did I accidentally make like a goated build, or did it make the game easier? You can be honest with me. Goated, you're the best to ever do it. You invented Nubby. Ghibli copied off of you. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. I only jumble, by the way, because everyone's saying, why aren't you jumbling? I jumble when we can't hit the highest peg first, because we need to hit the highest peg first for Happy Seal and for one of these other, for Toy Fish Plus. That's why I jumble. What the hell is this? Poop butt? For every time the board is restocked this game, gain 15 points. Currently plus 2,250 points. Poop butt. Everybody, poop butt. There he is. You know him. You love him. Fuck you. That's what I'm talking about. Poop butt goes kind of insane. We'll see it on the next run. Maybe we got to do some challenges. It does kind of look like me. I wouldn't deny it. I'll be the first to tell you. Tony. If a peg is hit by a laser, its number will be reduced to 0. Tony, you're already dead. It's over, bud. He's done it. Okay, let's slash marker that. We're back.